So before I hop into the tutorials on how to set up a low-tech planted tank, I'm gonna do a little update. One shrimp did die to the 88 cycle, and I believe that was my fault because I removed the two smallest sponge filters and placed a big dual one back here already too soon. So if another one dies, then I will plug those two small ones back in. Aside of that, I removed the S-rippins and placed them back there a little bit, and the P-Health fries are in. I received some Anubias Nana Stardust, and they were all one rhizome. They came a little bit late because I had snow in my area, so the package was delayed one day. A bunch of leaves was rotten. I plucked them out, glued the rhizomes in. I'm hoping the S-rippins will grow up and cover those roots, and I'm gonna keep it at that line right there. Let the Anubias grow over that. Bonsais in. I planted in one stem of Limnophilia aromatica, 6 or 7 stems of Rotala returnifolia over there. So for now I'm just trying to see which plants can fit in and survive. I'm running one T5HO. I was running 2, but it was too intense and no shrimp was coming out at all during the light period, so I lowered it down to just 1. As you can see there, that is red dirt, and that is a really good source of iron for red plants or plants in general, and I'll be using this on this project. This is Nature's Care organic potting mix, and it's from the makers of Miracle Grow. As I can remember, Miracle Grow has like 2 or 3 more other organic potting mix. You can get either one. What this contains is peat moss mostly, and what that peat moss does is it decomposes at a faster rate underwater. But you know, if you use it on like just regular dry land, then it will take more time to decompose, but once underwater it will decompose a whole lot faster, releasing a whole bunch of nitrogens for your plants to uptake. So make sure that whenever you get the Miracle Grow, make sure you get the organic potting mix, because if you get the non-organic, it will contain a lot of chemicals inside their fertilizers. So you know that can be really deadly to your fish, shrimp, snails, or whatever you keep in your tank, and it can be deadly to your plants too. For the Miracle Grow, I picked that up at my local Home Depot. I'm pretty sure you can too as well. And this is Flora Max from PetSmart, and this is a substrate especially made for planted tanks or plants, because it contains a lot of nutrients and minerals necessary for plants to grow. And this was $17. The Miracle Grow was $5. This is Osmocote Plus. Got this at my local Home Depot also for $10 a while back, and it's definitely worth it. One bottle can last you a very long time. And what this is a bunch of nutrients combined together into those little pellets that you see. So basically, if you have ever seen regular potting soil, there's always those little, you know, white dots, and what those are is the exact same thing as this, but this is just the aquarium safe version. So a lot of people recommend this also, so you should go pick one up yourself. I'll be using the small little tank to demonstrate how you add in the layers. So first we need to add in the Miracle Grow organic potting soil, and for that you need at least 1 inch to 1.5 inches, because it's pretty thick and spread out whenever you first grab it, but once you add it in there and you compress it with the top layers, and also once it absorbs water, it will really thin out. And if you don't feel comfortable with the 1.5 inches, you can add in 2 inch. You can maybe add in the Miracle Grow first, add a little water to see how much it gets up to. So it's very important to put the Miracle Grow at the very bottom, because it just basically releases a lot of nitrogen, leading to a bunch of ammonia spike, and you will just have algae all over your tank. So keep that in mind. The Miracle Grow has to go on the very bottom. So the Miracle Grow is in, phase 1 is done, and yours should look something like this. What you would want to do now is add the Osmocote Plus, and I'll show you how that look like in a second. So the Osmocote Plus is in. You should have something that looks like this. Those little pellets right there are Osmocote Plus. So for this phase, you don't want to overdo it, because if you add too much, some people say it can melt back your plants. That is a very debatable statement, but you just want to be careful with this, simply because the Osmocote Plus does release ammonia too also, and whenever you plant plants inside your substrate deep and you pull it back out for some reason, maybe because you don't like the plant or you want to move it to a different spot, it's a very good possibility that you can pull out these little pellets as well. And whenever you do that, make sure that you siphon those pellets out, or just remove it by hand or by a tweezer. So the next step is to provide an iron rich bed, and for that you can use potting clay, or if you're lucky like me and you have red dirt behind your backyard, you can use that as well. And I do not recommend fluorite red for this step, because fluorite is way too big, and this step is to suppress whatever the Miracle Grow and the Osmocote Plus will be releasing into your water. So this step is really crucial to this process as well, and you will probably need about 1 inch to another 1.5 inches of that. So you should have something that looks like this, and whenever you add the dirt or the clay into your tank, make sure that you done had pre-soaked it 1 or 2 days prior before adding everything together, simply because there's a lot of critters that take refuge inside the dirt, and you would want to remove them before you even add it to your tank. At this point, I would also like to include that it would be a good idea to press down and compress the dirt against the Miracle Grow. This is an insurance just in case the Miracle Grow decomposes and releases too much nitrogen or ammonia into your water. The next phase is to add in the Flora Max, and you would probably need about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of that. At this state, you can be done with it and add in water, but you can also add in sand or any other kind of colored substrate that you would like, just like that side over there, or you can add in more to cover up the black particles. So you can now add in water, but I do recommend you placing a plate inside the tank, so whenever you add in the water will not alter or penetrate through the layers of gravel that you have. At this point, you would probably want to raise your water up to about here only. Plug your plants in, add some more water till it reaches halfway, and then drain it all out, and repeat that process of adding in water and taking water out until the water is almost crisp clear. Then you can add in your filter, plug it up, and let the tank do its job. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.